Hi, everyone, and welcome. Today, we're sitting down for a special interview with the president of Capital Debate. We'll be talking about the story behind Capital and the impact of debate on students' lives and what's ahead to come for the future. So, I would like to start by saying that I'm really excited, to be joined by Brian Fish, who has been leading Capital Debate for many years now and has played a huge, huge role into shaping the program into what it really is today. So, Brian, thanks for taking the time to talk to us. I know your schedule is kind of crazy, but to kick things off, could you introduce yourself and maybe share a little bit about your journey with Capital?
Absolutely. Thanks, Felipe. My name is Brian Fish. I'm the president here for Capital Debate. I've been with the organization since 2016, so coming up on my 10th year anniversary, which is wonderful, coinciding with Capital Debate's 20th year here, hosting our summer camps. I've held many positions here at Capital Debates. I've been a student services advisor, speaking directly with families, getting them excited about summer camps. I've worked in the operations side of things to help establish and set up our summer camps. I've worked in the human resources, hiring staff members for camp. And back in 2022, I was made president of Capital Debate Summer Camps and have really enjoyed my time being able to lead such a wonderful organization.
So, what first got your interest in debate, and how did that shape your journey to where you are today?
Well, I think like many kids, I don't think I had an initial interest in debate itself. I was an athlete in my childhood and my youth. I played baseball and soccer and basketball, and unfortunately, I did have a slight medical injury that no longer allowed me to participate in those types of physical sports. So when my family was looking for additional extracurricular activities to participate in, my mom was very big on putting me into something that I could really learn how to communicate more effectively. She always said that I was an advocate for my two brothers, that if there was ever anything that we needed, I was always their spokesperson. And she really wanted to capitalize on that little skill that I had, or that little spark that she saw. And when I joined debate my freshman year of high school, I really feel like I found a very welcoming community that really taught me very invaluable skills, and skills that I probably wouldn't have received if I would have continued on my pathway into athletics. Debate, to me, I feel has given me that spark, that little catalyst in order to not only overcome many challenges that I faced in life, but to also give me the ability to advocate again, to continue to advocate for myself, for those around me, for my community, for the organization, for campers, for parents. It's something that I find is the most valuable skill that I've learned as part of debate. It's not just about winning an argument. It's how do we speak our mind? How do we speak our points? And I feel that that's a very keen skill that really only debate in public speaking programs like Capital Debate can teach.
So, you've been doing this for a long time, Brian. So, what keeps you excited and motivated to continue?
I think it's really being on ground with the kids at camp. It's being able to have fun with the kids, to be involved in the classroom experiences with the kids, to play games with the kids, to sing songs with the kids. That's what gets me motivated. It's to see the smiles on their face, the changes that happen in the 2 weeks. It's being immersed in the experience. Working for Capital Debate doesn't mean that I sit in an office 12 months out of the year, 7 days a week. It really allows me to go from camp to camp to camp and to see so many different approaches to how these kids have fun at camp. And that's something that really keeps me motivated and excited every single year. It's going back and having fun with the kids. It's a new experience every single summer, not just for them, but for us as staff.
So, what personal values or beliefs drives your passion for public speaking and debate education specifically?
Well, here at Capital Debate, we don't just focus on taking your students' ability to debate in a specific format and making them a national champion at that. What we focus on here are core skills and values that make students more confident individuals. And I feel that confidence is something that we really promote for our kids. And I see it change in our kids every single summer. We always have the collective group that are hesitant about participating because they don't feel confident in themselves. And by the end of the 2 weeks, the confidence in their ability to speak, not just about a debate topic, but to speak about silly things by doing some fun impromptu drills, or to really dive deep into spar debates and give complex topics that they have to understand and dissect a little bit quicker than they're used to, they have the confidence to do so. And that's something that, again, I find that we really focus on here at Capital Debate. It's not how do we take your students' niche abilities and focus it on this one specific format, but it's how do we utilize public speaking and debate education to give your students that ability to be confident in themselves.
Great, great. On that same note of change, so from your perspective, how do students change after going through our program?
I know everybody's looking to see that big shining light on their child at the end of camp and for them to come out of camp this amazing changed individual, and that happens. But it happens in steps. It's a building block process in order to get our campers there. I feel that our students change in the very slight ways their first year with Capital Debate. They raise their hand more. They're more communicative with their peers. You might hear from their teachers that they participate more in class. But it's really that second, third, or fourth year of participating in Capital Debate that I really find that our students start to have that shining light. Because debate and public speaking, it's a muscle. And you have to flex it in order to make it bigger, to improve on it, to get better at it. And students continuing with this type of program really see those big changes happening in their ability to communicate, in their grades, in their motivation to be more successful in life. I see that as being a long-term change that our students receive.
So beyond public speaking, what life skills do you think debate teaches most powerfully?
I think debate teaches students to look at any idea, any topic, any complex thesis in a very open manner. And what I mean by that is in debate, we have to look at everything from both sides, from the pro and from the con. Regardless of what your own personal beliefs may be, you might have to argue against that during a debate round. And being involved in debate brings out that ability in our kids to see things from multiple different perspectives, to not be so narrow-minded and focused on what they think is right without truly understanding, listening, hearing, and digesting what the other side also has to say.
Is there a student story or a moment that really sums up why you do this work?
I think the way that the youth perceive how society is happening, it's changing every single generation. And we're in a society now where our social media platforms, our communication platforms are giving our youth the ability to speak up, to be able to take a stance, to be able to say, this is how I feel on this specific topic. And I think it's very important for us to encourage the youth nowadays because we see so many great examples of them being able to speak their mind in changing situations, facing, the government, individuals that are speaking directly to the United Nations, individuals that are speaking to their local council to change things within their community. I think those are the moments that keeps me going in this type of adventure, this type of education, because giving them the ability to be powerful in their speech, it's important. When they have so many different platforms that they can utilize to speak their mind, we want to make sure that they're doing so effectively.
So you have the opportunity to spend every summer on the ground with students and staff. So what do you personally take away from those experiences?
I take away that every experience is going to be different. Each and every summer is going to be different. Each and every camp location is different because of the staff members that are leading the programs, the students that are participating, the campus life that we're living. And I find that that gives a fresh perspective as to how we communicate, how we educate, how we run our programs, how we make sure that this is going to be the best experience for our kids every single year.
How have the summer camps grown or changed over the years under your leadership?
The focus of what our education is has always stayed the same in regards to our core concept of helping the youth find their voice. But I think the avenues that we've used have changed. We used to be very focused on competitive debate, and now it's utilizing public speaking and very short forms of debate as a way to work with our students to develop these skills without keeping them so narrow focused.
Is there a tradition or a part of camp that you look forward to every single year?
There's two. First is the food at camp. I think our dining commons on campus have some of the best chefs, and I cannot wait to go back to a lot of these campuses that it's an all-you-can-eat environment. So I get to stuff myself every single day, and it's one of the things that I look forward to. I think the other thing that I look forward to every single year at camp is going to be karaoke night. I think that that's a great community building event for our kids. It never turns into one student standing on stage singing a song. It's a group sing-along that we do. And it's really one of those events that stands out every single camp, every single year.
Looking back, what are you most proud of about Capital Debate's journey so far?
I think it's the amount of lives that we've been able to really change over the last 20 years. We've been able to work with over 10,000 campers, but it doesn't just stop at changing their life. It's the communities that they then go into that they can effectuate change within. So it's more than just the individual on campus. It's those that go into their community and take what they learned and apply it there.
So what have been some of the biggest challenges as president, and how have they shaped the way you lead?
I think it's really looking at how our students are utilizing technology nowadays and how that's leading to a very widespread pattern of informal communication. Our students are not learning how to be communicative with their peers outside of the keyboard to be able to have a conversation. And I feel that that's a very large challenge that we need to overcome year over year, because as students are integrating technology younger and younger, we need to teach them younger and younger how to be more effective communicators.
Looking ahead 5 or 10 years maybe, where do you see Capital Debate going?
I see us having a more global reach. We'd love to be able to work with students all across the world, not just those that live here in the United States. And over the last 20 years, we've been able to welcome hundreds, if not thousands, of international campers into our programs. And to be able to bring Capital Debate to many different countries, to give them the gift of communication, to teach the youth how to effectively use their voice, is something that I see in our 5 to 10 year vision of our company.
And what would you say to a student who's hesitant or nervous about trying public speaking and debate?
You're not going to be thrown straight into a debate on day one. We are going to teach you the foundational steps to give you the ability to be a debater. I'm not going to teach you how to be the best debater by the end of 2 weeks, but I'm going to teach you how to debate effectively. I'm going to teach you how to utilize your voice effectively.
And if you could go back and talk to your younger self when you were first starting out in debate and public speaking, what advice would you give it to yourself?
Don't take the competition so seriously. Winning and losing does not mean everything. It's about flexing that muscle, like I said. Every debate round, every chance you have to give a presentation in front of your class, every chance you have to speak in front of an audience, that is something that you need to really take to heart. That's an opportunity for you to flex that muscle. Whether you win or you lose should not change if you continue to flex that muscle.
Awesome. And finally, what does success look like to you? Not just Capital Debate as an organization, but for the students we serve.
I think it's seeing our students going into so many different career focuses. Everybody that comes through Capital Debate aren't lawyers. That's not, where our 10,000 kids that have come through our program have gone into. It's that they can take what they learn here at Capital Debate and apply it to the future that they want to have, to make them more successful, to give them the edge above their peers. I find that's what success looks like. And that's really what I want to see from the Capital Debate organization, is to continue to motivate our kids, to give them those foundational steps to be successful in life.
Thank you so much for sharing your story and insights. It's been very inspiring to hear about the journey and the impact Capital Debate has had. I think this gives everyone watching a real sense of what Capital Debate is all about, and how students really grow through the program. We're excited for what's ahead and can't wait to see how Capital Debate continues to shape the next generation of leaders.
Thank you, everybody. We look forward to seeing you all at camp this summer.